Outdoor cooking is a part of life in Louisiana. From a sweet and savory marinade to a slow and smoky big green egg, cooking over an open flame is a common ingredient for good times and, when done right, even better food. Today, Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors welcomes the WAFB 9Chefs to test their skills on arguably the best outdoor grill around, the big green egg. Some enter this contest with experience on the egg.
Love the green egg. In my opinion, it's one of the best cooking vessels you can have for barbecue.
While others will use the egg for the very first time.
I really enjoyed it. Man, that thing really cooked.
In the end, 9 great dishes will be judged, but only one amateur chef will be crowned the 9Chefs King of the Grill.
This thing was just starting to burn my hands.
Sweet baby back.
I've been grilling in my family for a long time. It's something that we do on a regular basis during special holidays and during tailgating season for football. We're avid fans, so we always stay in the grilling mode.
My father was a guy who grilled meat, and that's all he grilled. But since I've been in South Louisiana, I've been grilling a lot and try to expand my repertoire. And it's really taken off in the last 5 or 6 years when I invested in a really good grill.
I cook a lot for mostly my in-laws. They like to get together for every birthday, holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything, so I usually end up doing a lot of cooking.
I love to cook, and that's about it. I have just recently started getting into grill competitions just by a fluke, I guess, because they were out there. And so really, grilling, yes, I've grilled before, but have I started my own grill and went through the whole process? No.
This is my first grilling competition, so I'm kind of an amateur in, the aspect of this is my first time doing this. So that's why I'm really happy about it, because it's a privilege to be chosen to do a competition that you really haven't had many experiences before.
In the neighborhood, I do have a little bit of reputation with friends and with family too. Usually I'll cook for a lot of the family functions. But my dad cooks. My brother also is big into grilling. So when the family gets together, we'll do. The guys will get together and cook together.
I cook for my church, I cook for fundraisers, family reunions, basically anybody that calls me that need my help. So I try to get out and help them out, cook a little bit, and got it from my dad, because that's all he used to do was cook. Cooking just like I wanted, slow.
Yeah, I've been grilling probably ever since I was in college. Love being outdoors, cooking for a lot of people, just gathering friends and family together. It's probably the most enjoyable thing about the grilling experience.
The first time I've cooked for a lot of people, I cooked at work, and I cooked chicken, and some of the chicken was raw, and they said if they would have had a vet on site, they could have brought some of the chicken back to life. So I've got reputations for serving raw chicken and reputations for serving good chicken.
In this competition, the 9Chefs must prepare and cook chicken, a rack of pork ribs, and a randomly selected vegetable. They only have 4 hours to complete their dishes. The 9Chefs could bring in up to 9 ingredients and add those to the Oak Point Fresh Market pantry, which also included varieties of French settlement sausage. When the time expires and the judges get the dishes, the chefs are scored equally in 3 categories: taste, tenderness, and presentation. Today's grand prize winner will take home a large big green egg, courtesy of Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors.
I would be very honored, to be able to own one of them. I can say if I win, I can take it back to East Feliciana Parish and let everyone know what, I accomplished.
Every competitor in today's grilling competition takes home gift cards to Oak Point Fresh Market and to French Settlement Sausage, plus grilling toolkits and accessories from Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors.
How about a shout out to Goodwood Hardware? I live around the corner from this place. I'm in here every weekend, you know, for nuts and bolts, for paint, you know, for hardware stuff, plus, you know, the outdoor cooking stuff and their accessories. You can't beat this place.
Feeling good, wish the rain would go away. So many different things that you can do on the grill now. It's not just chicken and ribs and hamburgers. I mean, you can do pizza and a whole array of things. So it's just another platform for cooking, really. And especially with, you know, these grills that we have, they can do anything. Competing is great, I like that. Love the cooking part of it. Just the camaraderie and people getting together and sharing, you know, a passion that I have and I know that they have. It's just, it's a lot of fun.
Green Egg is a barbecue pit, that's all I know. I know it's made out of ceramic and I know it holds a lot of heat. And it's just one of those things that, you know, you have to just get comfortable with and just start taking your time and cooking slowly as much as possible. I'm definitely looking forward to see what other people produce. It gives me some ideas for future grilling at home as well to present to my family, and also I might be able to give them something to bring back to their families as well, if they pay attention.
I have never done any sort of competition before. I watch WAFB and I have the app on my phone, and I noticed the ad on the phone, on my app on the phone one day, and was curious as to what it was about. Came home on a Friday evening and just looked into it further to see what it was about, and decided it sounded like fun, and I would just submit an application. I'm actually not nervous at all, surprisingly. I think it's gonna be fun. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? You don't win, but still have a good time.
I do probably about 5 or 6 barbecue competitions a year. Some days I do good, and some days it's just the luck of the draw. That's what it is. You cook the same recipe one day and win, and the next day you don't even get your name called. Never cooked on a green egg before.
Yeah, just kind of tuck them onto the bottom a little bit, just to kind of get them started.
It's a unique pit. I've seen my brother's got one, and I've seen people cook on them and tasted the food off of them. The food that comes off of them are good. It's just going to take a little bit playing with to figure it out.
I've got great feedback on grilling and cooking. Really like to cook, you know, big portions of meat. Never been involved in any competition. This will be my first one. I'm gonna cook a chili rub chicken with some mango salsa on top of it. Hopefully, you know, things will go well with the chicken. It comes out nice and moist and tender. And I'm sure the judges will be looking for, on top of everything, you know, some tender and moist meat.
I'm not bragging, we do all right. My wife entered me in the contest. I just wanted to come and see how good it is, you know, if I can have a chance to win. So I just wanted to come find out, you know, compete against other people, competitors, to see if it's really what they say it is. I pretty much know what I'm gonna do exactly on the grill. No need to practice. It's all up here.
There's 2 weeks up to this day today. Yeah, I've practiced it a lot. A lot of people that like have fed it to, they're like, okay, I'm tired of eating it because it's just make something new. And I'm like, well, I need to practice. Green egg, to me, from researching and from looking a lot online about it, it's basically like a kiln for ceramics, if you want to, you know, put it in that kind of perspective. It's a slow cooker, so I mean, it works really good for slow cooking meats and vegetables too, and even grilling. It's really good.
I used to grill some on a gas grill, but I mean, throw some chicken breast on there, throw a burger on there, nothing fancy. I like to cook more low and slow type stuff now. Know what I'm gonna do with the ribs and the vegetable. Not sure yet on the chicken exactly, but it'll come together. I usually start out with a recipe, find online and do it once and then kind of change it up to what I want to do. Usually never cook the same thing twice the same way. And usually something gets added or deleted every time.
Never done a competition. Ever since I got the call last Wednesday that I was in, I don't think I've slept 3 hours straight at night. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh, I should do this or I should do that. I've got free time in my business. It's a slow time right now. So I think we've had 3 dinner parties since Wednesday, trying to work out the kinks in my menu, and that's paid off. I'm excited in an interesting way. I got a performance anxiety attack the other day just thinking about it. I said, hey, it's good. I'm just going to have some fun. This is a unique experience for me, and I'm really excited about it.
Adios, my friends.
When the 9Chefs grilling competition returns, we go inside Goodwood Hardware to the judges' table. We've moved inside now at Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors for the judging in our competition. 3 judges to help us out today. First, we have Jeremy Harper, with the editor with Dig Magazine. Of course, Lauren Westbrook is the anchor 9 News this morning on WAFB. And we have Kevin Quigley with the Big Green Egg. Thank you guys for being here. All right, so judges, dish 1 here, we've got prosciutto, fontina, pesto, basil stuffed chicken breast medallions, and you've also got in front of you pulled pork romaine salad with a basil cream dressing.
The green egg is the best. Oh my gosh, it can do anything. It is the bomb, I'm telling you. It's so perfect in its cooking.
I like this a lot. It looks, the presentation is excellent. Each element was really nice by itself, but they also worked well together. The asparagus was done perfectly. I thought it was smoky.
My favorite, I think, was the pesto in the chicken. It was just ooey gooey with that cheese, and I really, really liked it.
The pork had a nice little smoke flavor to it, very tender, cooked perfectly. A lot of greens though.
I didn't mean for it to get that big looking, but it did, but I did the salad. So a salad's always big. Was it spectacular? No, I don't think it was, all that.
Dish 2 here, the chicken is made with a homemade rub with a honey pineapple barbecue sauce. And the pork, it's just simply described as a homemade dry rub as well.
I think I was getting a little nervous towards the end when the time was counting down, because I was more anxious to getting the plate out to be hot and things of that sort. So I think the little nervousness was at the end, but it's all up there.
The overall presentation is beautiful. I like the theme they have going on here. I feel like I would eat this on vacation.
Being cooked on a green egg, a big green egg, I would expect a little more smoke flavor. The sauce was tasty, had a nice spice to it, but the chicken was a bit overcooked again, a little bit dry.
My favorite was the chicken, the pineapple barbecue sauce. It was spicy and sweet, which was a good combination for me. But the pork sauce just was a little too dry.
I had a couple nibbles just to see how good it was. It did have some good flavor, and it did pack the punch that I wanted it to pack. But I think overall, the whole dish, it complements itself rather than just one portion.
Dish number 3 is now in front of you. Have a Jamaican jerk chicken. It has a homemade jerk rub, and also a mop sauce with injectable marinade. And then you have some pork Asian spice ribs with a homemade 5-spice powder with ginger.
When you're at home, you always have other distractions, so you get sidetracked doing something with the kids or something like that. So maybe I think I had nothing else to focus on for 4 hours, but with that, so I was always prepped for the next thing with plenty enough time, and it went really well.
The sauce on the ribs was my favorite sauce so far. It had a little heat, a good amount of sweetness, and it just worked really well for me. The eggplant was nice and firm. It was smoky. It was still juicy, which is, I think, hard to do.
I loved the stuffed pepper. I'm a huge feta cheese fan, and the sausage was great. The presentation was beautiful. Chicken was tender but bland, and I liked the sauce on the ribs, but they were a little tough.
I think the vegetables were the winner in this plate. The ribs were a bit overcooked, not a whole lot of flavor, and the chicken, again, had no flavor to me.
A little unsure in which direction I wanted to go with the eggplant because I had 2 ideas. I did both because I had plenty enough time, and I liked both of them, so actually I just plated both.
All right, we're on to dish number 4 now, judges. The chicken is a deboned breast stuffed with a French settlement sausage. And then for the ribs, you've got a dry rub with a homemade sauce. It's described as sweet and has some maple sugar in it.
I don't believe it went too well. I tasted the ribs just now. It didn't turn out quite the way I was wanting it to turn out. It had a good flavor, but it still didn't have that kick to it. The chicken was juicy. It had a good little taste, but the chicken's just half of the category, so.
The ribs were really good for me. They were tender, but not overcooked. The asparagus was way overcooked.
The chicken, I think the flavor came from the sausage that it was stuffed that was stuffed inside of it, not necessarily from what was on the outside of it.
If the whole score was based off of the ribs, it'd be a 10. I love the ribs, but the rest of it was forgettable for me. The asparagus was a bit mushy.
The garnishing is not my cup of tea. That's way out of my element. I've done competitions before, and all we do is just a piece of aluminum foil inside a box and meat. They want to taste meat. They don't want to taste green. They want to taste meat.
Judges, the chicken that you have in front of you is a chili rubbed smoked chicken. The rub is homemade and it has a fresh mango salsa. The ribs are simply described as smoked pork ribs.
Started off the first 4, at the beginning of the 4 hours, kind of frantic, making sure everything was done on time. Then there was a little lull in the middle of the competition and, kind of waiting to, plate everything right at the end, kind of the rush to get things looking good and warm and how, the way that you wanted them to taste. So a little stressful, but it went well.
I liked every element of this dish. The mango salsa, the fruit in that went really well with the smoke of the chicken. The rib was solid, and this grit cake was what really surprised me. It was really tasty.
I loved the presentation, all of the colors. I think the grit cake offered something we haven't seen yet.
The ribs were cooked to perfection, had a nice little crustiness on the outside. The grit cake was delicious, and the salsa was a very good complement to the chicken. The chicken was very tender.
I really wanted something that kind of represented the season that we're in. This is summer, so I wanted something, that kind of jumped out onto the plate with colors, with all the fresh vegetables, fruits that we have at this time of year.
We're on to dish number 6 now, and Judges, the chef here, simply says that the chicken is made with his dad's homemade rub. A little spiciness with a little bit of sweetness as described by the chef. The ribs here, they're rotisserie ribs. Again, a little bit of spice and sweetness.
I'm used to cooking very slow, but like I said, dealing with the green egg, man, that's something to invest some money in. That'll make you throw all the other ones away.
The ribs were a bit tough. Had a good flavor profile, but a bit tough. And the eggplant, everything on top of the eggplant was very good. The eggplant itself didn't measure up.
My favorite part about this dish was the barbecue chicken. It was just a nice traditional backyard barbecue chicken that I grew up with eating. So I like that. The ribs were tasty, but they were a little on the dry side.
The family recipe with the chicken really served this contestant well. Keep carrying that one on, I say, because I enjoyed it, but I could have used a little more creativity with the vegetables and the presentation of the dish.
Dealing with the presentation, you got to be creative. And this is the first for me, and put it on the plate nice and neat and keep it clean, and you decorate it to the best of your ability, and hopefully the judges will like it.
We're on to dish number 7 now. Judges, you have Cajun chicken kebabs in front of you, prepared 2 ways. Bacon-wrapped shrimp with French settlement sausage, and also lime chicken with French settlement sausage. And then on the ribs, it just says they're lightly sweetened pork, and you've also got some bacon-wrapped asparagus.
But you can never go wrong with anything wrapped in bacon. Plus with, the chicken and the pork, on the kebabs also, it just adds a little flair to it.
The flavors didn't live up to the appearance for me. The kebabs were a little under-seasoned. The bacon-wrapped asparagus, the bacon wasn't very crispy.
I thought it was going to be a great dish, but everything was overcooked. The sausage, the chicken, the ribs, everything.
The chicken was a little tough. I didn't taste the lime I think they wanted us to taste, but I did like that French settlement sausage, the way they cooked that.
Everything kind of, definitely turned out how I was thinking it would. There are a few little glitches here and there with just time management and, certain rules and things going about. So, but all in all, it was really, really good.
All right, dish number 8 has been plated and served to the judges now. Judges, you have 2 types of chicken in front of you. You have a barbecue pulled chicken with a sweet and spicy barbecue sauce, and also one that's stuffed with sausage, feta, and jalapeno wrapped in bacon. And you have a grilled corn salad that has some jalapeno in it.
The ribs are probably the best thing I make. A little crunch for time on the ribs, but they got nice and tender. Got a good color on them. I made a corn salsa with grilled corn, jalapeno, red onion. I did fresh and grilled vegetables, a little bit of both, just for some freshness.
I got a lot of jalapeno in my corn salad. I think they could have toned it down just a little bit because I like those flavors together, but I was only tasting jalapeno.
This was definitely the spiciest dish of the day, which I mean as a compliment. It all worked very well. The ribs, it was nice to have a different style. It was a dry rub. and the flavors were spot on, very good.
Very tasty dish. Woke my taste buds up. The pulled chicken, delicious. Very good smoked flavor. The ribs, very good rub on them.
We had a little parsley for dressing on the side, dress it up a little bit. A little parsley, did a little design with my barbecue sauce in the middle. Try to make it look fancy anyway.
Final dish is now out to the judges. Judges, you have two types of cheese quesadillas in front of you. One is made with a sweet rub chicken. The other one's made with a pork that has a muscadine glaze on it. You also have a chunky avocado salad, and the eggplant is actually incorporated into the quesadillas.
That chicken came out really good. I peeled the skin back and put a rub between the skin and the flesh. The ribs came out great. It's only the third time I've ever cooked ribs. I used a muscadine glaze on it. I hope it comes through. I hope the judges can taste that grapey, a bit of that sweet grapiness.
When I saw this was a quesadilla, the question I had was, would the grill flavor come through? And the answer for me was absolutely yes. The chicken and the quesadillas was great. It was smoky. The pork was really good.
They had me at guac. That's when they brought out the dishes. That's the first thing I said. I loved the overall presentation of it. Found myself wanting a little more chicken and pork though.
Unfortunately, mine was burned on the bottom. The guacamole, again, a great idea, but it could have used some acid, some lime or lemon.
I had to take out a piece of equipment at the end to get the nice char that I wanted on my quesadillas, and it got real hot and I kind of burned a couple of them, but a bit of a perfectionist. I never do anything exactly right. I'm real happy. I had a great time.
9 dishes from 9 amateur grillers. Who will be WAFB's King of the Grill? We announce the winner when 9 Chefs returns. The judges have now completed scoring our 9 Chefs dishes. Chef number 1, Geraldine, Chef number 5, Tom, and Chef number 8, Jeremy, produced the top 3 dishes of the day. All 3 finalists will receive gift cards from Oak Point Fresh Market and French Settlement Sausage. And of course, the grand prize winner takes home a large Big Green Egg Grill, courtesy of Goodwood Hardware and Outdoors. All right, 9 great dishes today in our first grilling competition here on 9 Chefs, 3 finalists. And the moment you've all been waiting for now, the winner of our 9 Chefs grilling competition is dish number 5. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice job.
I felt like I executed my dish well. The grit cake I think came out pretty good, and it was a clever way to use the corn, which I wasn't expecting this morning. Chicken came out moist, had a nice chili flavor, which went well with the mango salsa. Toned it down just enough, and I think the judges liked it enough, and we won.
The rib had a perfect balance of texture and flavor that just exceeded the other contestants. And 2, that grit cake, the Parmesan grit cake, was the most creative dish or element of the dish that we had today.
The flavor of the chicken with the mango salsa stood out to me, and the grit cake was a nice touch. Loved it.
The chef had a great flavor profile. The sweetness of the grit cake with the corn mixed in with it. The rib had a nice crustiness and a good smoke flavor to it. And the chicken was cooked to perfection, very tender, very juicy, and it had a nice little salsa on top. Very good flavors.
I enjoy the green egg. It was wonderful. Very easy to cook on. Can't wait for many years of continual, cooking on it. So I'm excited about that.
I feel great. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, ton of fun, and so to come in the top 3, I'm ecstatic.
A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Happy I finished top 3. 4th of July is coming up, so pay for the cookout.
For more on WAFB's 9 Chefs, log on to WAFB.com/9chefs.